Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm Xeno, the personification of a cry for help, and today we are back with more 922. Now, the last part we left off on, this game is a mindfuck. Are we actually dead? Is Spencer actually dead? Was Ian and Todd right? Because I was wondering why we were having all of this information given to us, even though it was perceived as a dream and nothing more. So what is reality? What is reality? I don't fucking know. But anyway, let's continue onwards. Andrew smacks down the paper he has his design printed on moments before it flies off the table. Not even the boulder he'd placed on it is able to hold it in place. They tell me the pumpkin carving fair has always been held indoors. This year, though, they decided to try something different. It's been raining so rarely this year, they must have told themselves. It's a nice sunny day, they reassured one another. I pop the collar of my coat like a douchebag before the wind blows the fur clean off my neck. Ian shoots me a smirk but says nothing. Like he's the one to tell me how to dress. Oh. This might not have been Joel's greatest idea. Joel Warren, right? Is she organizing this? That's right. Did I ever end up meeting her? Not that I remember, but you may have. See the fountain? Sitting table away from it. She's the one in the green sweater. Ian squints. Never met her, no. How'd you know her? Andrew had a crush on her last year for a couple of weeks. We worked on a project together. She's a friend. Everyone seems to be in high spirits with Halloween just around the corner. Groups of 3 to 8 friends each occupy a table. They chat and laugh and occasionally scramble to shield their stuff against another road gust of wind. The event is much more crowded than I anticipated. Maybe too crowded. Even though I managed to secure a table on the periphery by getting there way before it starts, 2 of the neighboring tables seem to have drifted dangerously within earshot. Whatever. Save for the sweet stench coming from a nearby box of pumpkins that ripened a bit too early, I couldn't have asked for better circumstances to get to speak to these 2 at the same time. Yeah, we kinda never see them at the same time, have we? You carving without a guide, Spence? Don't need one. It ain't my first pumpkin rodeo. Not your first one ever, huh? What's that supposed to mean? Oh, nothing. It's just that since you're dead and all, you probably don't remember the last time you carved a pumpkin. It's just that you'll lose your finger putting your entire body weight down on a knife like that. It's that these Toys R Us ass carving tools. I can't get any leverage. Did your family let you use power tools as a kid or something? I straighten up. I mean, I'm sure there's a guy around here somewhere that can show you how to do it. There is. Well, if you're so great, why don't you show me? Ian half turns to check whether Andrew has an opinion on it, but Andrew refuses to break eye contact with his pumpkin. I guess. So what you making? A cock. Spencer. He goes back to sculpting. Keep it appropriate. Please. Burn college, live a little. I just saw your dick, okay? Eventually, the conversation falls silent while we each concentrate on our respective projects. This is nice. Comfortable. Almost like having friends again. Almost like nothing weird's going on. That is not why I'm here. I feel like a fucking mess. Pray to God everyone's too occupied to notice. My heart is racing. The tiny saw in my hand keeps slipping off my pumpkin because my hands won't stop shaking. And for what? It's not like any of this matters. If I screw up today, then by tomorrow everyone had already forgotten about it, right? Oh yeah, also, he keeps giving Ian this Omamori charm, but the next day it's always in his drawer for some reason. And he keeps giving it to Ian, and it keeps coming back to him. So, what the fuck is up with that? There's no risk here. No consequences. Hey, Ian. What's up? Got something for you. Sorry, I completely forgot. Oh? I finished wiping my hands off, fished out the charm from the front pocket of my backpack, and placed it down on the table in front of him. Happy birthday! Oh, gosh, that's an omamori. Yeah! Thanks, Spencer. That's so cool. My chest squeezes at his expression. Rehearsing this may have been a mistake. Sorry. Don't unwrap it yet. Finish your pumpkin first, I mean, if you don't mind. Besides, I want to tell you something. Andrew, too. Oh, sure. Go ahead. Actually, let me ask something first. When's the last time you saw me? You were absent from our last tutoring session, regrettably. What if... I swallow. What if I told you we've had that session? And Ian, what if I said that we've been seeing each other every day this past week? I say you're a liar. It would certainly be nice to have not had that time slot wasted. Thought as much. Well, here goes. Just like we practice. Get ready to have your minds blown. Ian. Present! I'm not a poltergeist created in the Jefferson Building in 1971. Wait, let me finish. I lower my voice. Won't do me much good if Ian runs off. You told me about it during your meeting with Todd about how my corpse is missing. Picked newspaper, beautiful sunset. Todd thinks you feel guilty about my death. Andrew? We visited Lucas's grave in Sugar Hill Cemetery. You two have been best friends your entire lives. You brought it up as part of an excuse for why you're risking your neck figuring out who killed David Johnson. Oh! Right. Happy Halloween, Spencer. Please don't tell me you got in contact with our parents just for this. Nope. I was there during Ian's birthday party. You used up all the hot water in your cabin with Kurt, where you've been going over all the shit he stole. And Ian. I've slept in your room. It contains no less than 3 Mother Marys. You told me that last time there were only 2. Andrew? Not convinced yet? The 3 of you have spent your childhood stepping stones in the pond behind Andrew's house. How about that? Are you impressed? Well? Andrew's fingers drum on his pumpkin as he takes a moment to think. Well, you got me. I am impressed. I admit I must have underestimated how, transparent our affairs are. Really? He shoots a quick glance at Ian. In either case, is that possibly your way of saying you're finally willing to help with, Kurt's and my projects? Andrew? That's quite a creative performance you put up. Some serious deduction work. Andy, please don't call me that. We should leave. Should we? How come? This isn't Spencer that we're speaking to. Pardon? Deep breath. I have prepared for this. So far, so good. I'm not gonna do anything to either of you, Ian. If I was your poltergeist, I wouldn't be standing visible in broad daylight with 100 people around now, would I? That's not how those guys do. In fact, how about this? Right now, it is the year 2010. I'm Spencer Swain, college student, age 22, single, you know, as opposed to any other kind of death schmuck. Am I possibly missing some context here? Don't move. Every morning when I wake up, everyone behaves like I wasn't there the previous day, and everything I've done throughout the day kinda like goes back to how it was before I've done it. That's the gist of it. That's the context. Oh, okay, so that made sense. So he's there for all those days, but any ashes of him throughout that day is erased. That's strange. Sorry if it sounds stupid. Ooh, even Andrew's unsure. I'm afraid I don't follow. I'm sorry, y'all. I have no idea what voice I gave Andrew. I know I mentioned in a previous playthrough that Andrew and Ian's voice both sound the same sometimes, so I don't know what to give him. I'm just shooting fish out of a barrel in this moment to try to figure out, to pinpoint his voice. The time we first met. Do you remember it? The time when we first met. Of course I do. It was the day after the murder at the 7-Eleven. That's wrong. The call history on my phone says we'd been friends for much longer than that. Is that what you're going to say? Ian's shoulders soften, but he maintains a white-knuckled grip on the table below. I think I might be in the clear. Jesus, You don't know what I am. Don't worry about it, that's not why I'm here. It takes some effort to maintain a neutral expression. I've never seen Andrew like this. His eyes are darting back and forth between us like he's trying to gauge which of us is more insane. Huh. I see. You do? Yes, I do see. Very clever. We really ought to have a chat about how you go about presenting things. He picks a tissue off the table and begins wiping his hands. Let's save it for a later date. In either case, Why are you here then? How may we assist? What? Andrew insists on buying us lunch from the expensive sandwich shop so that he could get himself a hoity-toity iced latte thing. We walked side by side, with him in the middle. Each of us has a sandwich in one hand and a cup in the other. I taste bread, ham, and some pickle, yellow mustard for sauce. Can't complain since I didn't pay for it, but in what world could this have possibly cost anywhere near $8? At this point, I got a pretty good grasp on how things went down, though some spots are still unclear. Both of you seem to have done a ton of nosing around, right? Each one approaching it from his own dubious perspective. So I figured, hey, why not get both of you together to converge on something? Maybe if we put our stories together, we might be able to figure something out. Andrew nods through chewing and looking into the middle distance. He brought us to a section of the on-campus dorms where they must spend more time on maintaining the lawns than the actual buildings. With the wind chill so strong this morning, each blade of grass is an ice shard poking right through my jeans and into my ass. We've been sitting for 5 minutes now, Ian in stunned silence, and Andrew responded just enough to keep me talking. Can't imagine he ever wanted Ian to hear any of this. Maybe he's still trying to figure out how to praise himself out of saying too much. You started watching the cameras in the Jefferson building on January 2009, right? He swallows. It was February, right down the first week of the midterms. That's when we were asked to start monitoring both entrances to the basement. Security stopped showing up in the building a few days after that. We were? By who? If I remember correctly, Professor Reed took us aside and proposed that we volunteer. And you just accepted it. I did. It generally is a good idea to remain in good standing with your supervisors. What did you get out of it? None of us received any bonuses for it, if that's what you're asking. I didn't think anything of it at the time, of course. It's part of my job to deal with the miscellaneous. None of us? Who's this us? As mentioned, Professor Reed was also involved. Who else? Who else, Andrew? It's just us. Did Reed look at the monitors? His nose wrinkles as he goes in for a big bite. There is not a doubt in my mind that I was being taken advantage of, Spencer. What are you trying to get me to say? Nothing. Just trying to figure out when Fisher first showed up. Oh. Careful with that name. Hold on. Who? Nelson Fisher. I'll lower my voice for Andrew's sake. That's your ghost. The one who killed me. Oh! He killed you? That's the speaker that had gone missing the day of the murder. You were busy discovering my corpse at the time. Was that it? I motioned with my coffee at Andrew to continue. Mr. Fisher was introduced to us late in February, if memory serves. Sad to say, it wasn't the greatest experience. Professor Reed and I had always had a rather rocky relationship. You'll excuse me if I'd rather not go into specifics, but both of them were slinging some fairly weighty threats my way. It was an inconvenience, but being forced to work a few extra hours each day unquestionably outweighed the notion of going against their wills. You understand, do you not? More than you know. You neglected to mention that part last time, Andrew. Ian? Yeah? Anything interesting happened mid-February last year? What kind of thing? You know what kind of thing. Oh... Nothing. Don't mind me. Ooh. Well... No, I mean... Actually nothing. Complete silence. That's what makes it unusual. You remember it, right? Andrew nods through a dainty little sip of his faux frappuccino. Lloyd vs. Gray, the Opera House fire, and the shooting on Murphy Avenue. Those all happened within the span of a week. My group has been keeping watch, you know. There isn't any press about it anymore. No suspects, no leads, no nothing ever since then. Not to mention the car accidents. Remember the wear your seatbelt ads we used to get on TV? Ultimately, there had only been a couple of fatalities, but according to a record we'd found, car accidents more than tripled in 2008. Tripled! And then, just before Christmas, it all stopped. Just kinda like it went away. I don't remember there ever being a less eventful year for my entire life. Up until the murder, anyway. You with me? I'm with you. Well, yes, that is all true. Of course it is. Ooh. Throughout the year, the only quote-unquote unusual happening was what I was seeing with my own eyes. Mr. Fisher would spend hours upon hours in the Jefferson building basement every so often. Not much of a news story, however, that. So there wasn't anything going on up until the murder. Almost. One thing did change just before the academic year started. You began joining Mr. Fisher. He motions with his head towards Ian while Ian is busy wiping sauce off on a piece of wrapping paper. It's such a miracle Andrew rationalized all this weird shit in just the right way. In his shoes, I would have gotten frustrated with Ian's paranormal stuff and changed the subject or something. He did not have to give either of us the benefit of a doubt. Come to think of it, here is a puzzle that we might be able to solve all together. I believe you two had touched on it earlier. You have met on the first day of the semester, haven't you? Yeah? It was also when I first met with you, Spencer. In person, I mean, naturally, brief as it were. So far, so good? Yes, I think so. Grand! I don't think you took notice, but I have been quite surprised to see, you, Spencer. You see, mere moments beforehand, I have watched you walk into the basement. Whenever either you or Mr. Fisher did so, it was quite long until you emerged, so I took the opportunity to attend the freshman orientation. Get to know everyone. Welcome you all to the Institute. You left your post. You certainly aren't confident in throwing stones around your glass house. Yes, I left without telling anyone. In so many words. In either case, there you were, making a mess at the refreshments table. This may very well not be important, but for the sake of being thorough, did you happen to see, since you likely were there at the same time as them, did you happen to run into... Please give me a moment. Run into what? What? Tell us. Tell us. He shuts his eyes for a moment to puzzle out how to phrase it. Have you seen Professor Reed, or Mr. Fisher, or anyone else that's relevant? Afraid not. Ah. That's a shame. No surprises there. How come? He's got a memory thing going on. A memory thing? He doesn't remember anything before the murder. Of course, how could I forget? You just said so, hadn't you? You don't remember your orientation. No, I do. Then... I scratched the back of my ear with my half-empty cup. It isn't like telling him would make any difference. It's up to him to make sense of it with his own internal logic. Ian has proof that we'd gotten pretty close right after I met him. I don't remember any of that. I've never been in the basement until after the murder either. My first time had been just before you jumped me, on the day of the murder. Let me see if I understand this correctly. You show up for orientation, but then don't attend any classes, and then, 2 weeks into the semester, finally decide to make yourself known? Incidentally, after a student had been killed. That's not what I said. Yeah, he's been with me during orientation. That's also not true. I was there, and you were there, and we said our nice to meet yous to one another, but that was mostly it. Most of the night I was on my phone. Is that true, Ian? It's not. Not from my perspective. I told you he has a memory thing. You can check my phone if you want. I'm not the crazy one here for a change. For a change? And he's only been skipping morning classes, but that's just him being him. Me being me. Spencer? What? Oh, he is so fucking done. Oh, Andrew's so done. I'm grateful that you brought up that Ian had drawn close to David Johnson, but is there not anything you may recall that might be relevant to his death? Either of you? Anything at all? I'm dead. I can't remember shit. Ian? Right. So, what happened next? Where were we? Why'd you leave your post? Ah, that's right. A new face showed up that evening, Kurt Abrams. If I recall correctly, Ian, you had talked to him before? Sort of, yeah. We had visits together on Fridays. Swell. At that point, Kurt and I already had a work relationship. Imagine my surprise before I saw him following, David into the basement. After orientation, whenever David felt like paying the basement a visit, Kurt had been by his side more often than not. Huh. Have I finally managed to enlighten you on something? I did come here to squeeze information out of him, didn't I? He told me nothing. That came out a little more harsh than it had to. Damn, had it under control for a moment there. I pushed my tongue against the roof of my mouth to stop my throat from closing up. Unfortunate habit of his. Let's discuss it after I'm finished with my story. I'm just about done. He rubs the corner of his lips with a paper napkin, folds it between his palms and straightens up. Shall we head back? How much information did I get from this fucking game only for everyone's memories on Spencer be reset? On the day of the murder, Mr. Fisher, Kurt, and David all went into the basement multiple times. Most before I even got to my station, I had discovered that by rewinding the tapes later that day. Notably, this was the first time I had ever seen Kurt walk in all by himself. When he came out, he had you with him. The actual you, if you pardon my way of speaking. The Spencer that's with us right now. That is all. So you're saying that he walked into the basement by himself and then came out with me? But I was there with him when we first walked in, so what the hell? What is going on? A day after the murder, Professor Reed absolved me of my monitoring duties. I had not been in the camera room since. He shakes his cup around. Miraculously, there's still a little bit of liquid left. Comments? I have one. What the fuck? We walked in silence. My head is buzzing with thoughts. Why the change of heart? What do you mean? You never cared about the David Johnson case. In fact what? To me, it always seemed like you were actively avoiding it. Oh. Whatever. I'm dead. What have I got to lose? Please be serious. Ian's hand banged against the lid of the trash can he was tossing his wrapper into. Alright, whatever your reasoning might be, it is obvious you are invested. How would you like to proceed from here? In case it was unclear, Kurt and I have been collaborating on this affair for quite some time. Would you perhaps be interested in joining us? Oh, he drew the dick. Join you? Allow me to ask it in a different way. You had orchestrated a little demonstration for Ian and I believe you had done whatever you wanted out of it. What are your next steps? What's your plan? My plan? Speak to Kurt, perhaps. I'll speak to Kurt. And afterwards? Try to find relevant articles online? Right, as you see, there might be some value to combining our efforts. I can't. Why not? I don't know. All I want is to figure out what happened before it's too late. What's too late? You truly are an enigma, Spencer. He shakes his head in dramatic disbelief and turns to Ian. I loathe that you had heard the things you heard today, Ian, and I truly regret that you had to have been involved at all. However, since it became clear that you have been close to the victim, perhaps you would be willing to answer a couple of questions? Sorry, Andrew. No can do. Why not? It's because you wouldn't believe him. I guess it's just a bit too much. Regrettable, but I understand. Sorry. He turns back to me. This may be in part wishful thinking, Spencer, but I'd like you to know that my offer does not expire. We need all the help we can get, and you have demonstrated that you are, able. Do rendezvous with Kurt. By all means, I'll be passing on to him everything that had been revealed today. And do you intend to be more trusting in him than you are with me? He is the most invested in this case between us, and he has the most knowledge. He is your most realistic chance to get to whatever goal you are trying to achieve. I mean, I was already trusting Kurt, but now I don't know what to believe. Hey, Spencer. What's up? How many times have you given me the Omamori? My birthday present, I mean. This is the 6th time. I see. Does it mean I'm gonna forget today too? Thinking of how easy it was puts an extra pound of pressure to my clenched jaw. I'm a goddamn moron, aren't I? Andrew barely even needed a pro to spit it all out. He was happy that I wanted to know. Could have asked him a month ago, when I was still alive. The weight of my fist gives me a good stride. I'm sweating inside my jacket. I should plan this. Go back to my dorm, sit in silence. Let all that I've learned slide into place. Instead, I'm walking, holding myself down from breaking into a sprint. The cold air had long since dried out my nose and is now burning the top of my throat. This is a mistake. I swallow, fruitlessly. Kurt Abrams, is he here? Kurt? Yeah, he's here. He's probably in the back. Do you have a package for him? I'm a friend. Could you let him know I'm here? It'll only take 5 minutes. Hit that joint. Hey. Something up? Yeah. Got some beef with you. Is what's up. He looks me over. I'm a fucking mess, all winded and sweaty. Who cares? Yeah? Yeah. What about? David Johnson. What about him? He's not real. Oh? Or rather, it's just a name that Fisher made up to refer to me. You know, before I died. Kurt takes a long drag of his cigarettes, and then slowly lets the smoke out of his nose. Took you long enough. Why'd you lie about it? It's complicated. Humor me. You wouldn't believe it. Is that so? Am I wrong? You've been avoiding me just so you wouldn't have to believe it. Waste of time to get you to cooperate. I shoved my hands in my coat pockets. What a bullshit fucking excuse. You straight up pretended like you didn't know me from the moment we've met. All nice to meet you like we weren't best buds for weeks. So Spencer is David Johnson? Then what's with his mom? Did you remember it? No, I fucking didn't! Fucking Andrew told me. Because I fucking asked nicely. Fuck! Oh. Is that all you have to say? He brings the cigarette up to his nose and pretends to study the ash. I've been expecting this moment for a real long time, you know. That you walked up and demand to know all this shit. Had a lot of time to think about it. On what I tell you. And on how you react. Have a bunch of real clever banter sort of for the occasion. But you know what? Forget it. I don't have to bullshit up an excuse. You didn't want to hear it to begin with. What's that supposed to mean? You just didn't feel like it or something? It is what it is. You asshole. Did you drag me into the bomb shelter just for kiss as well? What about when you lied to my face about Fisher's bullshit newspaper story? You were trying to get me on board with solving my own fucking murder. Are you serious? Didn't want to hear it, my ass. Fine. You're cute. What? When you're pissed, I said you're cute. Excuse me? Are you changing the fucking subject? What you gonna do about it? You aren't as subtle as you think you are. Do you think I'm a moron? I've seen the way you act around me. Is that so? How long did it take you to gather the courage to come here? No time at all, actually. You suck at lying. I'm great at it. So you don't want my dick? I don't. He hesitated. You don't have condoms with me. We'll have to go back to my place. Shut up. What are you into, Spencer? Been wrong before, but I can't imagine you're the type to top. Shut up. I left some soda in the fridge this morning. And some Hot Pockets. We could have them after we're done. Sorry it's nothing fancy. If I knew ahead of time, I have made it more special for your first time. It's not. I'm not. Stop! You can't be serious. Are you doing this just because you don't want to tell me what's going on? You're cute. Why can't you tell me? It's 11 inches. Come on. Damn. You have your job to do. That's right, you're bluffing. You can't just leave. Don't see why not. You'll get fired. They like me. Lots of students around looking for work. So what? So you'll get fired! I bet you worked as well as you flirt. I'm a model employee. Did you fuck up only 50 times this week? I fucked up none. It's not like they're going to remember. Oh sure, like it's easy to forget that remember? Let the doctor remember? Is he dead too? Is he dead too? Is he dead? Is Kurt dead? Is Kurt dead too? What? Wait. What was that? Oh, I love that song. What did you just say? That shit, they won't remember because they have a lot of employees here. It's a slow day. They don't care. You motherfucker. My ribcage feels like it's caving in on itself. What did you just... My palm slaps against whatever grainy brickwork's next to me. It's not until my elbow smacks into it that I'm able to keep myself upright. I try to swear at him some more, but the words get stuck in my throat. You alright? Come on. Don't fucking... I'm not done with him yet. Give me a fucking moment. I'll be fine. You don't look fine. I'm fucking fine. Let me know when you're done freaking out. Sniff. Christ. Tell me this, Kurtz. Yeah? What the fuck is going on? Figured you'd be this way. I made a promise not to tell you about David Johnson. That's all there is to it. Can't blame me for not giving it an effort. Promised who? Promised you. Wouldn't sit in that spot. Shut up. A thousand thoughts crash like waves against my skull. A thousand questions wrestling for attention. My vision is dark. My heart is racing. I grit my teeth and pick the first thing that comes to mind. He got you too, huh? What? Fisher. He got you. In a sense? Ugh. Can't stop now. Just gotta keep asking stuff until he caves in. Alright, you and I. When did we first meet? When did we first meet? Yeah. He's an unwavering monolith while he thinks. Freshman orientation, wasn't it? You remember any of it? Not really. Not the version that you do. What were you doing over there? Just came by to say hi. To who? No one in particular, same as Andrew. He was there too. You came by to harass the freshman? He tosses his cigarette butt into the bushes and goes digging under his apron for another one. Nah. I wanted to see if anyone was cool. Was I cool? His new cigarette stops an inch away from his mouth. Yeah, dude. Really? Back then, yeah, you were. He pauses to light his cigarette. It was your idea to sneak into the Jefferson building. You had the key. You said you stole it. My kind of guy. I said that? The dead you did. I blur and refocus my vision on the cardboard box in front of me a couple of times. My neck is so stiff it's painful to move. I'm suddenly aware of how everything hurts. How did it go for you? What, the shelter? We went in, walked all the way to the other side, I blew chunks, and then we went back. Good time overall. And then what? Nothing. I went home. We had visits together. One time we drank some shitty beer you brought in a parking lot. Did go back to the bomb shelter a few more times, for shits and doodles mainly. The dead you wanted to check the place out. And then you died. I died? Yeah. Kurt frowns at his cigarettes and went out. How did I die? Fuck if I know. You woke me up with a text in some stupid time in the morning. Said we had to go to the shelter together. So we did. On the other side, you told me to seek you out. He steps towards me with his extinguished cigarette. That's when you made me promise to pretend like we never met. Seemed pretty important. Been a giant pain in the ass. After that, your guess is as good as mine. You went back to the shelter and died. Sorry I broke your promise, by the way. You absolute fuck. Anything else? Yeah, what? When did you die? Huh? Must be one of the most hilarious things I've ever asked someone. I'm not dead. Yeah, you are. Nah. If I'm dead, then so are you. Says who? Kinda says you, considering you said that no one's gonna remember the next day. Why are you at work, Kurtz? Your boss never remembers you showing up, that's what you were saying. It's almost as if you cease to exist. Is that not what's going on? Exactly, Spence. What about it? Then you were gross or something, I don't know. This Fisher dickhead none of us had anything to do with did some bullshit and now we're trapped. Forced to watch the world go by as more and more people realize we're like, gone. And then eventually they'll forget us. Or some melodramatic shit like that. This fucking sucks. We aren't dead. Man, whatever. May as well be. He tosses his barely used cigarette into the bush. Are you done? How did you even come up with all that shit? The bomb shelter. It's a gate. If you go back through it, everyone will start remembering your whiny ass again. The shelter? Yeah, the fucking shelter. Do you really need me to spell it out for you? We've been prancing around it for weeks. A gate? A gate. We're in some fucked up fake mirror world. No way you couldn't tell. Well, I mean, to be fair, I don't know anything. I don't fucking know anything. I'm so lost. But what? How many times had I been in the shelter? That can't be right. Never mind. Forget it. Doesn't matter. I don't care. Andrew said... He said you can fix this. What do you need me to do? Please answer my questions. Don't just leave me in the dark. There's a Dairy Queen on the corner of Pine and Linden. And behind that there's a parking lot. This parking lot is special. It's on a hill. And it just so happens that if you squint, you're just barely able to make out the entrance to the bomb shelter. It's a shame I never learned from my mistakes. Arriving early once again. Without any benches or anything, really, I'm forced to come up with a story. My car broke down and I'm waiting for the tow truck. That's what I'll tell them. The hypothetical person who will confront me about pacing around the parking lot for half an hour. God, this fucking headache. I dare to sneak the 102nd peak towards the north. As expected, the bomb shelter didn't disappear between now and the 101st. Still a bland concrete cube jutting out from behind some trees. One blurry guard is on his phone while the other, if I had to guess, has his earphones in. An odd sense of nostalgia pervades the back of my mind. The shelter seemed so innocuous back when I met Kurt. All I wanted was to sneak into school, as a good student does. Back then, the stakes were merely the $20 I have in my wallet, and, had I been lucky, my ass. It is 8:46. Hey, you're late. Neither of us offer any pleasantries. Last time he messaged me was 5 a.m. I did not sleep a minute tonight. I don't think he did either. Kurt's planet is absolutely bonkers, but I can't afford to question anything any longer. It's nothing complicated, I tell him. He insists to go over it one last time. On my signal, we sprint to the shelter. The guards will already have been dealt with once we're there. The door has a padlock on it and an aftermarket keypad. You yell if some bullshit comes up. Once I'm done fucking with the door and it's open, we wait for another signal. Whatever that may be. And then we go in. We get no second chances. If you go off to do some of your own shit, we die. You die. For real. Whatever, Mom. How's your nausea doing? Ate anything? Nah. Man, no way. Even if I wanted to, I wouldn't be able to keep it down. Well, do your best. Things are about to get real fucky. My stomach cramps in anticipation. How fucky? Unbelievably fucky. The fuckiest. You're going to hate it so much. Hey, by the way. Kurt cranes his neck to look past the cars. Who's there? Can you tell what's going on with the shelter right now? Huh? Describe it to me. Just do it. I sprint towards the shelter. Ah, fuck. My neck feels like it's in a vice. Is that... You seeing this? 'Cause I sure don't. Is that Kurt? Yeah. Kurt? Who was I speaking to? Right, that's our cue. Run! He fucking butts it. Shit. Wait! Run, bitch! My calf seizes up as he sprints out of the parking lot. Son of a bitch. That was his signal? When did he decide he's capable of moving so fast? Move! I stumble, twist, and smack my knuckles against a car. A shockwave of pain radiates through my nervous system. Suddenly, I'm moving. The silhouettes of parked cars move one by one past my line of sight, then a fence, and then the Dairy Queen sign. I'm on the streets. The route. What was the route? I came here a whole ass hour early just to memorize where the fuck I should go. Someone turns a corner somewhere in the distance. I start towards wherever that is. Pray to God that was Kurt. I sprint for what feels like hours past the school's fence. My lungs are burning and it feels like I burned another hole through my throat. The buildings. I was supposed to be on the other side here. I jump onto the road. Some fucker honks at me once my feet hit sidewalk again. There's a playground. It smells like piss. I made it. I'm... You're what? Ew. Oh. Who is he? He's kinda cute. Hold on.
The kind of clearance you got there, mister, is not any of my business. If you ain't on the list, you ain't going in.
Brilliant way to start the day. Show up to half the damn facility out on the front lawn and I'm being held out by a goddamn child. My boss is the fellow right there. You see him? His name is Roger Gill. I gesture past him into the crowd. Roger is yapping along at Danny and Paul in some suit I don't recognize. Who are these people? He's a first lieutenant. That good enough for you? He follows my finger as a good boy should. Mr. Dill! Sir! Hey! What's going on? Mind lending me a hand? Who the fuck is... What the fuck is happening? Sir! Morning, John. Security giving you trouble, eh? Go pour yourself a mug and head on over to Auditorium B. We had a minor incident overnight. Once Leslie shows up, I'll debrief everyone in. The private squints at the clipboard where Roger is pointing his pencil to. John Swain? His dad? Spencer! Fucking answer me! Oh god. Holy shit, you really are impossible to get through. My consciousness returns just in time to feel that my legs had turned to jelly. I fall to my knees. What the fuck was that? Don't tell me you're losing it already. I'm getting started on the door. Make sure these morons don't wake up. What? What the fuck was that? Ignore it. Ignore it? Oh wait, no, John is his grandfather. Oh god. Oh fuck. There's a pair of lights sticking out of the bush. It's the guard that was on his phone. The other one is slumped against a tree. His eyes are open. Is he crying? I pushed my tongue hard against the roof of my mouth and aimed my snout fully up just to keep the wheel from spinning. What the fuck did you do? Payback. You know what? Why don't you ask me again in a couple of minutes? What? This doesn't fucking work. What doesn't? The keypad. I can't get it open. It's fucking... It's... I squeeze my eyes shut. What is it? 5992. How does this happen? Really would like to know that before we got here. Whatever. Remember, I go in, you stay here. Right. He disappears down the shelter stairs. How'd you know? Huh? Who? Kurt's looking down at me like I'm a child who scraped his elbow. What? The code to the door. How'd you know it? Oh. I saw it in a dream. Okay, cool, you're still an asshole. Got me worried for a moment there. I blinked a couple of times trying to get my eyes to focus. What were you going to do if I didn't know it? Magnet. Remember that Todd kid from the bowling alley? He taught me a couple of things. Turns out these keypads are mostly for show. So you can definitely see me, right? I guess? Good. Let's go. What is happening? Who the fuck is Tony? Delta 6. Copy. Command to Delta 7. Looking terrific today, John. Save it. Roger's trying to rig me out. 10 hours in a civilian craft again. He's gotta. How long will you be gone for? A couple of weeks with the missus, and after that another week back home. Had to beg him for permission to fly. Man's acting like I won't return. Well... What? You know something? Delta 7. Copy, proceed to Delta 8. Just the November incident again. They got a committee going for it. You hear about that? Established last week. I heard. Paul has been brought in for questioning. He tells me they fancy that things are more serious than what the initial report made it out to be. How serious? Shutting down the project serious. Bah. You don't think they will? Rather they don't, Tone. I like this job. Well, whatever happens, it's been a pleasure to work with you too. Delta 8! Copy. Proceed to Delta 9. Good luck. Out. I'm so lost. Keep it together, man. We're almost there. You still with me? Keep it together. We're almost there.
Keep it together? Keep it together? It's every day now, John. Every day something new doesn't add up. Every day they have me drive to Oakville so that I can compare records with something they dug up in Kazakhstan. And it's always insane.
Is that Professor Reed?
This is beyond counterintelligence. No, this has to be the real deal. We screwed up bad.
He goes mute and stares down at his shoes, pretending to think. Never seen Cliff this agitated. Or else gone to shit while I was gone, understandably, but Cliff is on a whole new level. Are we still on about the eastern buildings? Even under a doomsday scenario, how bad could it have possibly been? He frowns at his feet. Sad as it might be, it's only a handful of contractors and a bunch of concrete.
We should stop there.
Did it not? It's classified, he isn't allowed to tell me. That said, if I stay still for a couple of minutes, he might.
There's a section on Western Avenue down in the city. You ever go there?
Does it ring a bell?
Do you remember True Mountain Diner? We celebrated Sherry Green's birthday over there last year.
Got it. The swamp.
That's right. Ha! The swamp. You want to hear something about that swamp? The county had a drain 25 years ago. The city plan doesn't make a lick of sense had they not. Do you think it's funny how there's a chunk of town that had never been zoned?
Can't say I've ever given it any thoughts.
It isn't only us who's missing people or some construction crew. People used to live there, John.
Spare me. What's the damage?
Hundreds.
Of people?
Of households. Going by what we assume would have been built had it been built in the past couple of decades.
Are you sure about this?
You're hilarious, John. Am I sure about something that for all intents and purposes has never existed? Of course I'm sure. What the devil are you wearing?
Dude, we are... What is happening right now? What is our mind? Oh god, is it over now? It's over, isn't it? Isn't it over? I'm wet. Wet! There's no square inch of my clothes that isn't drenched in sweat. The sting of acid persists no matter how much I spit, or in which way I contort my tongue. Vomit's fucking everywhere. On my hands, on the toilet seat, on the walls and floors of the bathroom. My stomach lurches but nothing comes out. There's nothing left. What the hell is happening? Oh my god. That was new. Sniff. I flinch. Fuck, some of it got on my nose. Kurt's still standing where I left him, motionless in front of the shitty boys' room mirror, hands limp on the sink. We really went for a ride there, huh? You alright? What time is it? Fishing the phone out of my jeans pocket is like reaching down into a sewage drain. 9:44. We're safe. Kurt's face twists into a crooked smile.
What do you think? Pretty cool, yeah?
I guess it was alright. He attempts a high-pitched wheeze of a cackle.
Welcome back to the land of the living, dumbass. You're welcome.
Wait, what? Okay, I believe that'll be it for today. What the hell is happening? What is happening? Is Kurt dead as well? What? Like, my brain is literally putty at this point. I don't know what the fuck to think. I don't know what the fuck to believe. I don't know what the fuck to do. I don't know what the fuck to think. Oh my god. My brain's broken. So David Johnson's not real? And what's with Nelson Fisher? What's with that guy? I don't fucking know. Oh my god. Well, anyway, thank you all so much for clicking on this video. If you enjoyed this, you can give it a like and subscribe if you're really interested. I'll leave a link to the visual novel in the description below if you want to go play it for yourself, if you want to endure this mindfuck. And I'll also leave links to my Twitter and Blue Sky if you want to support me on those platforms. And as always, I'll be leaving a link to the visual novel me and my good friend Zid the Red Panda made for the February Game Jam titled When You Were Mine. Please don't show your support to it. If you do enjoy it, maybe consider giving it a rating on itchio and commenting on it. We love reading those. It really does make our day. And as always, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video with my brain probably still intact. Bye!